So hello and welcome on in to another game dev review with the Pied Piper. That's me. So agenda, we're going to go over expectations of me, the dev, grading criteria, game, genre, flagship, schedule overview. We'll play our app game today, give it a fair chance, we'll grade it, and then we're going to raid over to a beautiful Jingle Jam streamer. That's right, because we're in the middle of Jingle Jam right now. Jingle Jam, if you don't know, is the UK's largest charity event. It spans 2 weeks. It was started by the Yodcast in like 2016, I want to say, and since then they've raised 27 million pounds. That's about $35 million for those that use USD. Right now, every year they choose a handful of charities to support. There's 8 charities this year, and we're supporting the WWF. The only incentive we have live during this stream right now is the Jingle Jam game collection. So for £35, you can unlock 15 games. That's about, it's over $100 value, I believe. There's some really cool ones in there. So if you're interested in doing that and donating to WWF, the World Wildlife Fund, which we'll be going over some of their videos and some of their stuff later in the week as we do crowd control, so that'll be exciting, doing some more stuff like that. Then make sure that you !donate or go check out jinglejam.narwhalpod.org to check out our fundraiser. And thank you for everybody that's donated. If you guys didn't know, I reached $1,000 on my personal campaign link, so we've actually raised over $1,000 since I started streaming via mine. I know that doesn't include everybody who donated during SGB, because those donations go to the SGB overall account there. So everything that we've ran as the Narwhal Pod on our own, for either like WWF in the past or for Patty, everything like that, we officially hit $1,000. So thank you so much for donating in the past. It really is appreciated by all those great people. So let's start with what you can expect from me. During this review, I'll give you honest and candid feedback, suggestions to improve your game. I'll provide my insight on speedrunning, which is going to be interesting for these because it's not really going to be relevant, which is okay. We'll give it a fair attempt. Then we'll get, I always provide my deep perspective on gaming. We've now streamed over 150 games here on Twitch. We have over 1,300 achievements on Steam. I have 25 years plus of gaming experience. You'll get access to this VOD on YouTube in the video game review toolkit, which is how we grade all of our games indefinitely. What I expect from the devs is patience. Just know I am a full-time employee and I am a part-time student, so I got a lot going on in life. So it might take me time, and we only do these once a week right now. We're kind of looking at adapting our schedule and starting for 2026, so stand by for that as we move forward. Please have humility and non-combatantness. This is really big. I will bar you from resubmission, and I will ban you from chat if you're being a butt face. So don't be a butt face. If you don't like what I'm saying about your game, please understand that I'm just sharing my exact experience, and just say thanks for the feedback or remain quiet. You don't have to take anything I take, but I do recommend that you do at least listen and understand that I am sharing my experience, which is a truth to me. Communication, don't ghost me. Please don't backseat. That way you can get the best perspective of what your players will face when they're by themselves and load some and download your game off the App Store or Steam or wherever they were. And then tech assist links and more. Please provide your Steam key, download link info, and any additional info before your scheduled date. I try and give everybody at least a month heads up prior to it with specific dates, but you'll generally know which month you're going to be getting a review. So please make sure as soon as I say, hey, I'm going to be streaming your game, I have every game that I said I was going to stream, I have 100% streamed unless somebody has ghosted me. So it's really on you, so make sure that you please provide all that. That way we can review this on time without any issues, and gives me time to test the game out if need be before the streams. So how do we look at games in 4 different categories? We look at the genre. So if you say, hey, this is a roguelike, is it? We make sure it is, and we make sure that you're innovative, not just ripping off some other game. Art, we look for style and consistency. So if I take 6 screenshots of your game, does it look the same in all 6? And do you have visual identity and originality? Does that mean that I could tell based off those 6 screenshots that it's definitely your game? And then readability and functionality is the other big part. Can I tell you, is it clear what you're expressing? If you want me to be sad, if you want me to be happy, is that expressed through the art, through the world building? Do we feel what we're supposed to feel through the art? And do I know what I can do? What is the conveyance of your ideas through your art? Then we look at gameplay, which is basically how fun is your game, and then we finish off with how speed runnable is your game. We then take all those, we break up into 16 subcategories, 4 larger categories, 16 subcategories right here, and we grade all games exactly the same. This helps guide us and provide into that. So we've already played Unistellar 4 today, so what are we playing next? We're going to be playing PlayNook, immersive audio games for everyone, anywhere. Audio first, choose your adventure. Choose your adventure. You can play wherever you are. So this is going to be a little bit different. So how they describe this is that they took inspiration from the 80s game books, which they love, and converted them into new digital and accessible format to play on your phone, everywhere, and for everyone. So what makes a great audiobook? Choose your own adventure. Like I said, this is gonna be a little different. So number one, crystal clear choice moments. Since the listener can't necessarily see the choice, because I'm kind of imagining, like, if I was going to do this, I'm kind of imagining that this is great for a road trip, right? So that's kind of like the perspective I'm going for. We're going audio first. We will be pulling up the visuals as well, but I think that this is really going to be an audio first. Maybe this is something you do while you're playing another game. Maybe you're working, right? You're kind of like doing both. So the listener's not going to be able to see, so choices must be short, clear, and immediately understandable. Next is going to be smooth, seamless navigation. So branching audio needs transitions that feel natural. Each choice segment should start with a soft recap. So you need like short chapters, right? They shouldn't be more than like 5 minutes or anything like that. It's kind of what I'm thinking. And consistent branching. So clear audio cues like subtle music beds to signal transitions like, hey, anytime you hear this, you're supposed to be making it. Like, tell your reader when they should be chiming in again, and just in case they space out, try and have it make sense. Don't try and just like drag on, like, right? And then with that like shorter chapter is going to make it easier where like people can pick up and stop and start again. Engage in immersive performance. A strong narrator is crucial. I don't want to listen to a dude just be like, and then you walk through the door and you see a werewolf. What do you do? Right? Nobody wants to listen to that. We're trying to keep people engaged on this road trip. So that's going to be huge. High quality sound design. Not overdone, just enough to immerse, right? We don't want it to be like boom, bam, like craziness where like we're being assaulted auditorially, right? We want it to be good. We want it to be like thematic music to like signal the danger, mystery choices, right? You want volume consistency as well. I don't want to like start on one game and it be like, then you walk into the room and you can't see, and then next one you're like, and then you burst into the room. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to be consistent. Sorry for if you guys didn't see that coming. And then strong writing and branching narrative design. Story structure matters as much as the audio. So like, right, all of our decisions need to matter. Everything needs to matter. You should have multiple endings, successes, failures, bittersweet, and even secret paths, right? Choices should impact the character. And then memorable characters and settings, right? I should hopefully remember what I just read, why I care about them, where I was at, things like that. Pacing and matching. So this is something that we're going to kind of look into a little bit while playing with it. So I'm one of those people, I do listen to podcasts. I listen to like, I don't know what, 3,000 hours or something last year of podcasts according to Spotify Wrapped. So I do listen to my podcast at like 1.3 to 1.5 speed. Anything slower than that like drives me nuts, to be honest. It's like very slow. It does adjust usually, like the lowest I go is 1.3, and then I will go to like 1.5, and that's based off like the general speed and vibe of the podcast. So I am curious with this pacing, if one is going to have it. Two, I do find these very difficult to do. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, but like I did have some like choose your own adventure books, and I got lost a lot as a kid, because I have like these are not great for ADHD. Because it's just so easy to get distracted and forget what you've done, or like you get confused on which page you're turning to. So with this, you need to like avoid long stacked sections with no interaction. Right, you need to like interleave story beats with choices to maintain agency, keep tension, stakes rising, and the listener should never feel bored between decision points. You know, we shouldn't just be like, all right, when's the next one, right? And then I am curious if we can change how quickly some of the like pacing happens as well. Accessibility and listener comfort. So like audio first media needs to like have that clear enunciation. You need to have like right narrator. Once again, so good. Pacing is really important. I would say as well, like adjustable pacing would be nice. Ability to easily jump into chapters we talked about. Something to note, maybe like an option on interactive mode for passive listening. So like maybe you have it on there where somebody's like really does want to enjoy these stories, but then like maybe you can just like choose something that'll auto do it. And then Also, I'd say maybe having some visual stuff in there, which I think does exist. So like maybe like a flowchart included, which could see like where it could branch and some different choices. That way it like really encourages. That way you have that replayability, which is that last part. So what game do I think are the flagship? So weird, right? We're not really doing a game. We kind of are, we kind of aren't. But there's like 3 things that come to mind for me, right? And that's Sierra Games. They were notorious for these text-based games that then became with like a UI and like actual interaction, like some bit of a like graphic user interface, right? We were able to do that. Goosebumps, Reader Beware, you choose a scare, right? That's like the basically the choose your own adventure Goosebumps books, right? So I do think like the choose your own adventure books back in the day. And then the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I think that was like one of the like earliest like based graphic novel games that I remember existing. So my experience, I've read a handful of choose your own adventure books as a kid. I remember reading one about like the Alamo. That was like probably the most famous one I remember reading. But I usually like had a hard time. I'd like try and skip or like do other things, or I'd be like, oh, I didn't like that, and then I'd try and go back, and then I'd be lost and I couldn't remember. So well, this could be interesting. I've watched full playthroughs of King's Quest and Space Quest, like 1 through like 5 on both of them, and like 1 through 3 or something, or 1 through 6 on Space Quest, all those. So I've seen a lot of those, so I'm very familiar with like text-based and like going through doing those. And I remember playing a little bit of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And one of my best friends as a kid, my like stepdad's his like sister's godfather, and then like his mom's my little brother's godmother. So like we were like one of those families that we were just family at that point, you know. And so like I remember going to his house, and his dad was like really into like Star Trek and Hitchhikers, and he had like the old CRT computer in the basement, and they had this game. I kind of like remember us trying to like mess around with that a little bit. This is my current schedule. And then if you're interested in reviewing your game, hit me up, pause the video now, and check any of those out. So without further ado, let's pull this up. It is an app. So let me get this all synced up real quick. Capture only this. All right, now we should be good. I'm going to kick it over to here. We're going to pause our music. And now we're going to kick over to this view. All right, there we go. You guys should be able to see my phone, and then we can see you over there, and I'm right here. I'm not hearing any sound right now. I don't think there is any sound. All right, so I did download a few of these at the beginning because I thought that they might be interesting. I did reach out. I'm a little worried about hitting like paywalls. So that's going to be like a little concerning, for sure. So I did download some of these. So let's start with the Deadly Draw. This is in Spanish. You'll see, oh, somehow it stopped syncing. Did this earlier for some reason. Let me reshare real quick. See, there we go. So, but it's going to be in English once we play it, which also a little concerning.
You wake up and look around. You're no longer on the street. You're in a white room with a metallic desk in the center. On the 2 opposite walls, there are a mirror and a door. The environment is sadly sterile. You don't remember why you're here or how you got here. Your mind is very confused, focusing.
We're so quick into this.
You notice a young woman huddled in the corner. She seems confused. You ask her for information. You investigate on your own.
Ask her for information.
You approach her and ask her a few questions.
We're gonna be yelling a lot.
With her big dark eyes, brimming with fear.
I don't know anything, neither where we are nor why. I think we've been kidnapped.
At that point, she gets up and tries to shoulder the metal door, which doesn't even budge. The same happens with the mirror. It seems like one of those serious ones.
If I lock my phone, will this still play?
You don't even try to break the surface. That woman is very muscular and has technique, and she can't do it. You would just end up breaking some bones. Escape is impossible. Your roommate sighs and stares at you.
Our roommates here?
Are you also a member of the army?
You shake your head. She made a blunder. A small speaker on the ceiling starts to crackle.
Welcome. Today, we will participate in a short challenge. Please put on the headphones placed in the desk drawer to continue.
Challenge? What does
Does
that
that sound
mean?
like desk?
After distributing the headphones, you and the girl exchange an agreement glance. It's better to obey. Do not obey.
Yeah, let's obey.
You remain still and take
Oh.
time.
If you do not follow the instructions, we will detonate the bomb we have implanted in you. It will also explode if you try
What
to
is this?
remove it by force. So,
What's that
we
thing?
advise you
Maze
to
Runner?
continue
It's giving
with
Maze
the
Runner
challenge.
vibes.
You feel a few drops of sweat running down your back. Your life is in danger. This is not a joke, but it's also true that perhaps the voice is bluffing.
You obey.
You obey. You defy fate.
You obey. You obey. You obey. You obey. You obey. I keep thinking I'm saying you away. Obey. Yeah, I thought I said obey. Oof, you obey.
Today is not
Oh
the
my
day
goodness.
to take risks.
And I had to
You
click
follow
it?
the
This is
directions,
horrible for
and the
driving.
voice transfers into the headphones. In the meantime, your heart is racing.
We have unlocked the other drawer of the desk. Take one sachet each.
The
Oh,
material
sachet.
is carefully stored where you were told. In each of the plastic bags, you find sheets and various electronic components.
Follow the guide and assemble the remote control. The first person who assembles it and
I'm trying
presses
to do
the
this like I'm
button
driving in the
can
car
leave.
right now, you know?
You can start.
But I'm looking at it.
And as for
I'm
the
not a good
headphones,
audio listener.
Music will be broadcast shortly. You cannot remove them, or you will automatically lose.
What will happen to the one who loses?
You receive no answer. You carefully observe the chips and wires you have in your hands, and then your opponent. You try to collaborate. Do not collaborate.
Try to collaborate. Numero uno. One. Is it like that? It doesn't let me choose one. First choice. Wow, that's annoying. You try to collaborate. It does not like me, dude. You try to collaborate. Dude. You try to collaborate. You try to collaborate. My headphones might have just turned off. You try to collaborate.
You propose to cooperate, but from her cracked lip,
The music just
you
stopped.
understand she's not convinced. How can you blame her?
Because,
After
yeah,
all,
the
it's
microphone, like,
competition.
thinks I
You have
say
to try
something
to
and then just
explain to
gives
her
up.
that by pressing the button together, you could save yourselves without causing victims. You strive and use all the charisma you have. Your tone is serious and persuasive.
I had to click on that?
Sorry, but I can't trust you. I prefer to work alone.
Your rival positions herself at one end of the table and spills the contents of the envelope. From that moment on, she ignores you. You failed your mission to collaborate. All you have left is to position yourself on the opposite side from her. You open the instructions. Suddenly, music comes at maximum volume, hurting your ears. Your first impulse would be to rip off the headphones, but you resist. The sound is loud and distorted. It has something disturbing about it that makes your skin crawl. The girl, however, seems to be having a worse time than you. She has wide eyes and is breathing heavily. She is literally panicking. It's true that she behaved badly towards you, but she's also suffering a lot. What to do? You try to calm her down. You ignore her.
Try to calm her down.
It would be hypocritical to console her if you're trying to beat her.
It runs out of time because it doesn't understand me. Get rid of those. That's annoying.
Everyone must think about themselves and play their own game. You return to the instruction sheet. There are drawings with captions. It's hard to concentrate with this background noise. Perhaps the real challenge is to be able to maintain control until the end.
Also, how would I know it's a time-sensitive challenge if this is audio only?
Then connect the battery. And finally, assemble everything in the outer shell. A tough job. Proceed calmly to avoid damaging parts. As soon as your opponent recovers, however, she starts working extremely quickly. She might even catch up to you. You steal some of her pieces. You keep trying.
Keep trying. I'm not gonna steal.
There's no need to sabotage her. With the right amount of goodwill, you can do it.
I'm glad that one took, because I did not think I said that.
And then, it's not certain that you won't have another anxiety attack. Once the motherboard is finished, you move on to installing the battery. Your hands are shaking from stress and that awful music. You can't afford mistakes right now. What can you do to improve concentration and accuracy?
Breathe
You dwell on
slowly.
the risks. You breathe slowly.
That's a dumb question. Why would it do that? Like, this is obvious. You breathe slowly. Like, why is this even an option? This is a dumb choice. You breathe slowly. Are you mad at me? You breathe slowly. Because the question isn't like, what do you do? It's like, what can you do to improve? Nobody's going to say, oh, I can improve my concentration by thinking about everything that can go around. This sound is annoying. Sorry. Like, I get that, like, they're like, oh, it's hard to. If this is audio forward, especially now that it's frozen, because it didn't understand me talking and saying 1,000 things, I'm losing my mind. Which is, like, kind of good because it adds that immersive, but it's also kind of like, you breathe slowly.
You remind yourself to stay calm and think.
I think it thinks.
Wait a few
oh,
seconds.
it doesn't.
Exhale.
It keeps trying to
Adrenaline
figure out what
pumps
I'm
through
saying
your
in
veins,
English. It's
and
trying
combined
to
with a
say
clear
it in
mind,
Spanish.
It improves
and
your performance.
like, oh
the battery
man,
area is completed
language
in an
issues because my
instant.
phone's in
All that's
Spanish.
left is to close the plastic shell. At that point, however, you notice that there's a kind of screw left over. You ignore it. You disassemble everything.
If it's really me, it's like you disassemble you disassemble every. No, you ignore it. Ignore it. Ignore it. Ignore it.
Better to press the button and check. A spark erupts from the internal circuits. There's something making a bad connection, and the remote can't work. Apparently, that screw was important.
That's never true.
You could disassemble the components, but there's no more time. In the meantime, your opponent has caught up with you and is about to press the fateful button. You grip the remote tightly, hoping to improve the contact, and you trust in luck.
So I have to click this? It says I have to click it. Roll. Roll. Like, that's... I can't do this. See, this is why it's like, oh, it's audio forward, which is cool. But, like, how... Like, I get that, like, yeah, you gave me, like, the audio cue of, like, I have to click on it. But, like, if I'm driving, which I think would be the ideal, like, option for this, right? Like, this sounds perfect for a road trip. But now I have to, like, take my phone while driving and be like, oh, let me click this thing, you know?
You keep pressing, but nothing happens. She's won. The music in the headphones suddenly stops. You turn to the young woman. With a grim expression on your face, you hear a strange beep and an indescribable pain. Everything turns red and then dark.
Okay. Alright, let's try another one. I'm good on that one. Yeah, we're good with that game. Okay, so that was the deadly draw. It might go blank here for a second because it doesn't like when I like change stuff. Yeah. So let's try, this one's called Doku ga Nairu. Japón 1584. Japan, 1584. During the period of Sengoku, the island is fragmented in very small place, like people, towns. Without essential authority, there's many armed conflicts. I don't know those. It is the only small authority in the north, as valiant, and it's cold, and they have incomparable cold, I think. You have your sword, and you're ready to conquest into new territories. But central, with politics, tensions, and dramas are familiar. All right. My translation's sucking.
Plum tree in the garden and half close your eyes. The sun filters through the leaves and you feel the spring wind on your skin. You recall the words you heard for a few hours ago.
My reading ability is better. My ability to speak is not improving, but yes. I would say that because I see a lot more Spanish, it's definitely helped me like get around like menus and like reading around Spain a lot better.
Many of those present have supported your mother's doubts, but in the end, your father's choices are law. It is no.
But it's weird that translates that and then this plays in English.
New head of the Date family. You bring your hand
Ads
to
are
the
coming
blind
up,
eye.
y'all. Just a heads up.
It's what remains of the terrible disease you contracted as a child. But it's also proof that you survived. After years, it
I also think that like these throw us in way too
relatives
quickly.
A shadow stretches out, covering your face, and you turn around. Kagetsuna, your faithful attendant, is a few steps away. He smiles at you.
Are you ready for the big day?
Yes.
Shh.
No.
Yes. And then it just stops. C. No, it doesn't like the Spanish either. Yes.
I care about my people, and I am fortunate to have excellent advisors. If the gods assist me, everything will be fine.
You pull yourself up to sit. You have worked hard to earn your title.
Is that us?
You have studied with the best Zen masters. You have perfected good manners, and you've already participated for 4 years in the military campaigns, distinguishing yourself on the battlefield. You cannot let fear corrupt your judgment. The quiet is interrupted by hurried footsteps inside the residence. There must be about 10 people. You jump to your feet and you put your hand on the hilt. Kagetsuna does the same. Your younger brother enters the garden, followed by a group of servants. His face is contorted with anger.
I do not accept your appointment as head of the family. For the good of the clan and as second in line of succession, I challenge you to a duel.
Agni Kai.
You accept. You use diplomacy.
We accept.
You can't stand such disrespect. However, the garden is not the right place for the confrontation. You leave the residence and cross the bridge to reach a large square. In a short time, a large crowd gathers, mostly made up of servants and commoners nearby. You and your brother take position. The tension is palpable. Kagetsuna starts the dispute. With a lightning-fast gesture, your katana clashes against your brother's, generating a metallic clang. From the violence of his blow, you understand that he is serious. If you're not careful, he could kill you. He moves to the right side and tries to hit you, exploiting your blind spot. You manage to stop it just in time. His pattern in the following moments does not change. He always repeats the same move. It is clear that he is not an experienced fighter. Even if you easily defend his attacks, you can't win the battle by being on the defense. You have to try to anticipate his next move and catch him off guard.
Hey, we finally got a good
Anticipate his
roll.
movement to the right and force him to retreat. Now you are in control. Your blows are sure and precise, but your brother parries very well. If you don't end the match in the next moves, a stalemate situation could arise. You do some feints. You increase the frequency.
Increase the frequency. Dude, it really sucks at understanding me. I thought I said something about Christina. Even this thing that sucks at understanding what I say does a better job right now. I don't know what they're using for, like, text to speech or speech to text, but it is not. It needs some help. I'm gonna be honest. Increase the frequency. I'm sad that you guys, if I captured the whole phone, you could probably see it, but I don't want something doxing to pop up, you know? It thinks I'm saying increase the frequency. Increase the frequency.
You don't give him a moment to breathe. Your blades clash rhythmically and deafeningly.
I said the same thing I
If
said
you
3
continue
times
like
in a
this,
row.
He will soon lose his balance. Sweat drenches your forehead and chest. It won't be long now. You strike other blows, but the trajectory is not precise. Your brother moves slightly, dodging them. Violently counterattack. His blade cuts the fabric of your sleeve.
Stop. What's going on here?
Both of you recognize the voice and stop fighting. Your father is in the middle of the crowd.
He's still alive? I thought he was dead.
Someone must have warned him. He seems disappointed to have seen you in difficulty. Apologize. You take advantage to prevail.
Apologize. Apologize.
You bow in a sign of repentance and keep your gaze low.
He thinks I
was
said
challenged by
apologies.
Kojiki for the role of family head, and I gave in to impulsiveness. Please forgive me. I know the decision is only up to you.
How is it up to him if I'm the first in line and he's second in line?
Combat, but also in how mistakes are faced. I have no doubt that you should be my successor, Masamune.
Before saying goodbye, he gives your brother a dirty look.
Kojiki, I don't want to see you fight anymore.
Why doesn't
Show
he tell us
respect
what
to your
movie?
older brother and your father's decisions.
Your brother turns red with anger and heads straight for the village. He will certainly look for a woman to vent with. Finally, you can enjoy a moment of peace. You spend the rest of the day meditating and undergoing purification rites with the monks. First, you must temper and cleanse your body, so they force you to immerse yourself in a stream of icy water. Then you move on to the chants, prayers, and waving various objects like the Harai Goshi, the ritual stick, or the Suzu, a bell to ward off evil spirits. Renewed in your spirit and pure, you offer your praise to the gods and ask for their guidance. Tomorrow's ceremony will perhaps be the most important moment of your life.
Trying to immerse
You need
myself.
to be rested and calm to celebrate it at its best. As soon as it gets dark, you return to your rooms and lie down. You sleep one of those long and peaceful sleeps without dreams. You wake up early. As a good omen, you are greeted by the red sun of the east. Your servants immediately rush to help you with your ceremonial clothes. First, they put on a long robe, then the trousers, and the kami, a tea coat with wide shoulders. The symbols of your house are sewn onto the fabric with gold threads. As soon as you are ready, you head to the meeting room. All the most important families are gathered there. You check the attendees and notice that your wife isn't there. She probably didn't make it back from her visit to her lands in time, but it doesn't sadden you. You're not very close. You look at your father and bow. He stands up and approaches you with the white pillow in his hand. Above it lies a dagger. You are confused. Usually the investiture takes place with the family katana. Ask for explanations. You grab the dagger without hesitation.
Ask for explanations. I didn't even pop up with anything I thought I said. Ask for explanations. Alright, I think that we have determined that this thing cannot understand me, so I'm just going to click on the options now.
Your restlessness shows, and the crowd doesn't appreciate it. It's not great to appear fragile for a new leader. You notice your mother smirking. Your father signals you to let him continue.
My successor must be brave, ready for sacrifice, and without flaws. I know many of you have doubts about Masamune, but I am certain of my choice. Now he will prove that he is ready to eradicate his shadows in honor of the light, by removing his sick eye.
For a moment, your heart misses a beat, and you grip the dagger tightly. Your eye? Tear it off yourself. Ask Kagetsuna. Protest.
Yeah, we're just gonna
You sit down and take a deep breath.
take our own eye
Your
out.
eye, the source of your weakness and discrimination. You must be impassive as you remove it. You will show everyone that you cannot underestimate the Date family. Your hand tightly
Don't like
grips the
those
dagger
sounds.
until it turns pale. You bring it close to your face.
Wow, crazy karma. Come on, high number. Let's not stab ourselves in the brain. Well, we're screwed.
You thrust the blade into your eye. A sharp pain radiates throughout your skull and drains your strength. You were slow and lost momentum. Now you will have to pull it out with force. You hear cries of disgust and some women turning the other way. Take another breath and do it. The bulb falls to the floor. Murmurs and cries of astonishment rise from the crowd. You've never experienced such intense pain. You grit your teeth and bring your hand to your bleeding socket to cover it. Your father has the investiture katana brought to him and orders you to stand up. You obey. You can barely stand.
I'm
and everything
uncomfortable.
seems confused. The words reach you muffled.
I, Terumune Date, head of the Date family, cede the title to my son, Masamune Date, a man dedicated to duty and with a heart of steel, who will guide us wisely. May the gods assist him and smile upon our lands.
Your father bows before you, and so do the other people in the room.
Praise to the new Lord! Praise to the new Lord!
Meanwhile, warm blood continues to flow onto your hand. The background murmur intensifies until it becomes a scream. You plant your feet and straighten up while you grab the ceremonial katana.
I do want to test something. I'm going to
You
lock
observe
my
it for a
phone.
moment and raise it towards the sky.
Okay, so I can't play this with my phone locked. So that's a little annoying too. Sorry, I had to test it for testing purposes because it's like, right? Like I don't want to necessarily have this up playing, especially if I'm like on a road trip, because that's gonna burn my battery out. You know what I mean? Oh, and if I lock it, I think I broke it completely. So if my phone locks while it's going, oh, we're just SOL. It's like,
You try to find some
okay, I just have to
charismatic
skip
phrase
the
to
rest
say,
of that.
but all that comes out is a visceral, powerful, desperate scream.
Maybe that's like a
Chorus of
premium
exultation
feature.
spread through the air. Now you are the lord of the fiefdom, and you will not let anything stand in your way.
Okay, so then if we do this, is this the next chapter still the same story? Oh, there's only one available right now. Okay. There's only one chapter available for that one right now. Alright, let's look around a little bit at this. I do have one more downloaded. Yeah, it's gonna freak out. Of course it is. Alright, let's play around with some of these options and see what else we get on here. Cool. So we can filter and search by what we want. For us, yeah, you have to like register. Oh, there we go. So we can change it to English for y'all. Oh, and it crashed the share again. Cool, cool, cool. It's also interesting because it's like, yeah, I'm totally in Spanish, but then everything we saw was in English. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the menuing was in English, but everything else was in, or the menuing was in Spanish, but everything else was. So game settings, text and audio, but there's no audio only. You can do read description. So let's turn that on. And then, yeah, what does auto mode off mean? That's confusing. So yeah, there's some like issues with there, like full voice options would be nice. Auto doesn't make sense. Why would it stop at certain points? You know what I mean? Okay, let's play our last one. Oops, I accidentally backed out of the whole app instead of just going back and menuing. That might be an Android problem. That might have been an app problem. It's hard to tell. What was the other one I downloaded? This one? I think I downloaded, yeah, the Exploder. It was probably isn't gonna play. We'll find out. Oh no, it's actively downloading. That's alright. We'll do one more just for judging. And we'll see if it plays better now that I've changed the language to English.
You wake up in a dark room. Your back is flat on the cold floor. Sweat running all over your body. Your head heavy on your shoulders. You move slightly and feel your arms chained to the ground. You recognize these musty smells, these chains.
I think it's, oh, each one has its own set of karma and gold? That's weird.
You have no memory of how you ended up here. A muffled voice speaks outside the cell. Sitting on an old chair behind the bars, you recognize Kolkov Darkblade. 2 meters tall, skin as gray as dust, all muscles and scars. He is the director of the arena. For years, he's been running this circus of freaks, taking in foundlings and making them work for him. Theft, scams, bets. Once they are big enough, he makes them fight and kill each other in his arena. You are one of these foundlings. You listen to his words. You try to remember.
Listen to his words.
You're awake.
Okay, it seems to like it better now that I've switched to Chinglish, but it didn't like it wouldn't respond in Spanish either.
Maybe I was wrong.
So it's like that's a little concerning because I would say C and it would be like, okay, I understand C because it was already a yes or no, and then it wouldn't do anything. So there's definitely some language issues.
You were worth more as entertainment.
You listen to his words carefully.
But you killed them all. You killed them all and made me lose a lot of money.
I didn't kill anyone. Kolkov, you have to believe me, no one.
A punch against the bars echoes a metallic roar throughout the cell. For a few seconds, you say nothing more.
To prevent it from happening again, tonight I'll take you to the lake. I'll tie you to some bricks and throw you in there. In the chance you die, your body would already be gone. Easy. In the chance you survive, we'll figure out together what to do with you. Okay?
Kolkov, please.
Hearing you plead, Kolkov growls and gets up. He sighs, pleased with his plan. He leaves. You're left alone, your head still heavy, tears sliding down your cheeks. You look around the cell. You try to force the chains.
Yeah, let's look around the cell.
You look around.
Okay, it likes it now that the language is right, but it doesn't make sense still.
Among the remains, you also notice a small golden light. You take it and put it in your pocket.
You earned 1 gold.
From the corridor outside the cell.
We got 10 gold in that last one. I don't remember us saying that.
A girl slightly older than you.
I still don't know what this gold's for either.
All on one side.
Or karma. Probably in the tutorial that we didn't play.
Bana.
She signals you not to shout. Like you, she was also a foundling of Kolkov. Unlike you, her skills with knives have earned her preferential treatment. Bana pulls out a lockpick and starts to pick the lock. You approach silently. You ask her what's happening.
Kolkov is angry about what you did. He doesn't know what happened, how you managed it, but he's scared.
She tells you about the incident. Just that morning, they took you to the arena to fight for your life. You were hit in the head. Your skull tore open at the side of the arena. You died there, in front of his eyes. Then, a strange, invisible explosion erupted from you. All the other participants died instantly, along with some wealthy bettors and friends of Kolkov.
When I went down to check, your head had perfectly healed. You're the only survivor.
The cell opens before your tear-filled eyes. Bana rushes to free you from the chains. You deserve to die. You don't believe her words.
I guess we don't believe her words. Those are horrible choices. Oh, I gave up. Because I don't understand what it means you deserve to die. Like, we deserve to die? We're saying we deserve to die. Or we're saying that she deserves to... I'm a little confused in what, like, verbiage we're using here right now, right? I guess you don't believe her words means that I don't believe her words. Then you deserve to die means I deserve to die. But what does that even mean?
So what? I died and then exploded, and everyone died except me.
It may seem absurd to you, but I was on the other side of the stands. I saw everything. One moment everyone was alive and well around your corpse, and the next moment there was only you. If this isn't a sign of good luck, Aaron, what else can it be?
That was weird
Chains
timing.
melt away from your arms.
Also, like...
Now stop whining and let's get moving. We'll talk
Good
about
luck.
everything when
We're
out
gonna
there.
say you nearly dying and then killing everybody else around you and escaping is good luck.
The first step in your
I think
escape
that's
is
luck,
deciding
my
where
friend.
to go. On one hand, the direction Kolkov went, where the exit is less guarded. On the other, where Bana came from, the main entrance to the dungeons. towards the less guarded exit, towards the main entrance.
I don't think we want to run into Kolkov, right? Also, why didn't this prompt me to say things? I also... Let's go towards the main entrance. Towards the main entrance.
You proceed towards the corridor from which Banna came. On the ground, you find the lifeless bodies of various guards. You look at Banna, her cold gaze, the blade still stained with blood. You're about to say something when you hear noises approaching in your direction.
More guards are coming. We have to hide.
Hey!
You run a few steps ahead.
That's a good
and
roll.
hide behind some boxes at the corner of the corridor. The voices of 2 guards are getting closer.
I hope this mess doesn't slow down the payments.
I hope the same. Maybe this time we can really, you know.
Leave. You know Kolkov would never allow it.
And who said Kolkov has to know?
While you are silently lying in wait, you feel a slight draft of air behind you. Behind a cloth along the wall, you notice a small, dusty burrow, probably forgotten.
Nice.
It could lead you to the exit. The 2 guards pass by, continuing to chat as if nothing was happening. Banna suggests attacking them from behind. You attack from behind. You proceed down the corridor. You head towards the mysterious burrow.
Mysterious burrow.
You sneak into the dusty tunnel.
That's wild how much this works now.
In the dark. Neither you nor
There's something
Banna
weird
know
with the
where it's
languages. It's definitely
leading, but
confusing
hope
and
is
weird.
The last to die. So they say. From the corridor behind you, you hear the voices of 2 guards.
There are bodies here.
She's escaped. There's a fugitive.
You proceed in a hurry and arrive in front of a strange door made of light marble. There are 4 symbols engraved, triangles and horizontal lines. You know what it is. You try to understand what they are. You listen to what Banna says.
Yeah, we know what it is.
You have a pretty clear idea of what these symbols are. The 4 cardinal points, the 4 seasons, the 4 elements, the 4 main winds.
The 4 elements.
They are the 4 elements.
You earned 1 karma.
A faint light shines in the center of the square, revealing a 5th symbol. The symbol of the volcano.
I think we need to combine the elements.
To create the volcano.
Banna nods. Water, fire, air, earth.
Fire. It said that I said fire and then didn't do anything. Fire. It keeps recognizing that I'm saying fire and then not doing anything. I guess I'm just gonna click on it.
The symbol of fire, which lights up with a scarlet energy. Banna steps forward and presses the earth, which shines with an amber light.
You earned 1 karma.
The symbol of the volcano disappears, and that of the storm appears in its place.
How do you create a storm?
Water.
Earth, air, water, fire.
Water.
You press the water symbol, from which
I don't know why it worked that
sea drops
time.
come out. Banna steps forward and presses the air, from which a subtle and pleasant breeze emerges.
You earned 1 karma.
The marble door slowly opens, revealing the continuation of the dusty tunnel. You grope forward, while the guards behind you continue to shout
Don't like that.
and draw the attention of the other soldiers.
Can I ask you something?
No.
Banna nods. On the guards. On the arena.
On the arena.
What happened at the arena? You said you saw it, right? Aren't you afraid it will happen again? That I could explode again?
The first time it happened because you died.
So if I were to die, I could explode again.
And that's why we'll strive to prevent that from happening.
After a few minutes, you reach the end of the tunnel. Another small abandoned space in the middle of the main corridor. If you want to escape, you have to do it as quickly as possible. You walk as stealthily as possible through the various
Don't be
corridors
suspicious.
for a few minutes,
Don't be suspicious.
tension rising with each step.
Don't be
Each
suspicious.
distant noise
Don't
of
be
some
suspicious.
soldier. You turn the corner, and in front of you, you finally see the exit door. The sunlight awaits you.
End of the chapter?
No one in sight.
Oh.
All that separated you from freedom is luck.
You rolled
Hey.
16.
You move towards the exit door. You're almost beyond the threshold when a dark shadow.
Come on,
emerges
16's a
from the
great
outside.
roll.
From the exit in front of you, Kolkov appears.
This isn't even the way that he went. He went the other way.
And watches you. Blood freezes in
I
your
rolled a
veins.
16.
So you are the cause of all this noise.
A 16? And this is what happens? What?
Kolkov smiles. Growling fiercely, Vanna runs with tense knives towards Kolkov. He dodges her first blow, parries the second with his muscular arm, and pushes her away.
Insane. What'd you want, nat 20?
Call me Darkblade.
He puts his hand behind his back, grabs the hilt of his sword, and pulls out a non-existent blade. Only the hilt of a sword that isn't there. With a gesture of his hand, dark energy threads begin to sprout from the hilt. A shadow blade slowly forms before your eyes.
Because magic is always stronger than metal.
The guards draw their swords, hold them out towards you, but do not attack. They keep surrounding.
In chapter 1?
Charges again at Kolkov. Without the slightest effort, he hits her with the shadow blade, sending her back to the ground. The dagger trembles in your hand. Help Vanna. Attack Kolkov. You wait.
Help Banana.
You run towards Vanna and kneel beside her. You help her up while pointing the knife at Kolkov.
You earned 1 karma.
His laughter makes you shudder.
Here she is, Aaron the Coward. Always ready to let others fight in her place.
Haughty and careless, he takes a step in your direction. You wave the dagger instinctively.
I feel like we wasted that 16.
But Vanna takes advantage of the distraction to barely scratch his leg. He moves away, screaming and cursing.
Why are lows good?
1 karma.
What?
Vanna looks at you.
I'm sorry, Aaron.
She grips the blade, tears in her eyes.
Maybe not.
The dagger pierces you between the ribs. Vanna
Oh, I
twists
guess
the
it's
blade
fine, right? Because
and
we're gonna
slides it.
explode, or she hopes we do.
Sorry.
You fall to the ground. You bleed out quickly. Kolkov and the guards stop, watching the scene in shock. Vanna stays by your side, crying as your life slowly leaves your
She
body.
didn't sound that sad.
You rolled 8.
At that moment, an invisible energy shakes
Why
the walls
read it to me if I have to click on it to say
guard's
it?
armor. The explosion that accompanies your last breath spreads in the room, cracking the walls and ceiling.
No, I guess we do. Okay.
The soldiers are swept away, squashed together into a pulp of flesh and metal.
Gross.
Vanna's body is pushed back like theirs, crushed against the ground. A thread of blood comes out of her mouth.
She's right next to us, and she just like...
Slowly get up, tired and confused.
She slowly bleeds out, and the rest of them are pulp.
Where Vanna stabbed you.
Does that make sense?
There is no wound. You see her body pressed to the ground a few meters from you. You try to approach her when a dusty pile of dented armor comes to life. Kolkov's powerful arm emerges from the rubble, the dark blade still in hand, his clothes torn, his lungs breathing dust
Is it just me, or does this one feel like 3 times longer than the other
You
ones?
still haven't learned to die.
Without hesitation, he runs.
Is there a clear
furiously in your
timing on
direction.
these?
You grip Vanna's dagger and prepare to act.
Roll. Roll the die.
You rolled
Oh,
4.
we can yell at it. Okay,
Volkov
that's
deflects your
unclear.
attacks and pushes you to the ground. He charges his arm.
I don't know if it actually
preparing to
rolled if
deliver
we
the
just got
fatal
4
blow.
again. It felt uncomfortable not
Don't
hearing
do
it do its roll
You
thing.
saw what happened. If you kill me, I will blow up this whole place. You will die too. There will be no escape for anyone. No one.
Kolkov stops to look at you.
Roll. Roll. Roll the die. Did it just work that one time? Roll. Dice roll. Go spider powers. Shoot. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now. Roll. Do the thing. Roll the dice. Why did it work that one time? That was so weird. And it gave me a 4 again. Roll. D20. 16. 20. Nat 20. Crit.
You rolled 1.
No matter how much you push yourself,
oh my
all of your
gosh.
attempts prove futile.
Critical failure.
Against his willpower. The brutality, the determination, the anger in his gaze, in his gestures, in his words. Before you even realize it, a cold, black blade is thrust into the center of your chest. Your body falls, and your head rests on the chest of one of the corpses. You look up and feel like crying. You exhale your last, cold breath in the arms of your friend.
Alright. That's cool that you can start from checkpoint. Yeah, so this doesn't have a clear, like, timing on it, right? And then only chapter 1's free. Is this gonna freak out? Yeah, let me just look at these other ones. Yeah, so none of them really have a time associated with them. If I hit info, it tells you the languages available. So you have English and Italian for that one. But no time. Yeah, that'd be kind of nice. I also don't like that it doesn't like properly exit out when you exit the app. Like it doesn't play when you lock it, but it does like play when it's minimized, and that's kind of annoying. But I think we got a pretty good understanding of where we're going with this. So we're going to kick over to review. All right. PlayNook, hello. All right, so PlayNook, we're gonna grade the whole app. So art style consistency, not really applicable. So it's like, I guess sort of a little bit like within there. It's like, speaking wise, style throughout, right? This is gonna be really hard. So this is gonna be really hard to do, to be honest, like, for it. So I'm just gonna leave some comments, like, cause I could break this down into it, but it's like, this isn't made for this, you know, like, this is made for games. I was interested in this opportunity. I thought it was something else, honestly. I thought it was like something to help the deaf when I first like read about it. I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. And then like kind of like figure out more and then like realize what it was. And it's like, it still sounds cool. I'm kind of interested. And you know, it's fun to do. We haven't done a mobile stream in a while. But it was still cool to do. I think I still have like value to add, like, but like really it's like, all right, I guess like art style consistency, like atmosphere world building though, this is like where I had a lot of issues. Like I didn't understand where we were. There's definitely like some broken issues. With core loop engagement, we'll go through it. I think we can do it, right? I'm gonna get these like 4s. Readability was a little confusing too in like some of the options. Core loop engagement, like did I want to play more? Do I want to go back? Sort of. I was like, I think the biggest issue with it is that it just throws you in so quickly that's like, I don't know who I am. I don't know where I'm at. Is it a requirement to read the pre-description? Does that really help? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I just felt like we're getting thrown in so quickly, and it's like, especially if I'm like downloading this and like trying to do it like on a plane or on a car ride or like while doing homework or something else, you know what I mean? And like it'd definitely be helpful doing something like that. So wow, that's so weird. So it's a little strange, a little odd on that sense, you know what I mean? So like I think with that, like I think it throws you in, that like kind of kills that core loop, because I don't really know what I'm doing, you know? So like I don't really know what the motivation is. I don't really know what we're going for, and so that like kind of makes it tricky, you know what I mean? So like with that, I'm like, like, do I really want to like play more, go into it more, or anything else? You know what I mean? Because it's like, we're really trying to like figure out what's going on. Like by the time you figure it out, like the chapter's already done. So I think that's like kind of what's missing in this core loop. Like I think it's functional and like there's moderate enjoyment. Control responsive, clunky, lagging, frustrating. Like maybe it was because it was in Spanish at first. It seemed to work better when on English, but then it didn't. And then also then it was like not fully audio driven. Like I still had to do stuff where I had to click on it, which then takes away, like, honestly, I think like the biggest thing would be road trips. Like I'd want to use this for, and I can't do a road trip if I have to be clicking on it or if it doesn't understand me. And the fact that it doesn't like ask for you, it made it really frustrating. I like really got like mad at it, you know? So it's like, it definitely needs some work in that. And even then, like, it doesn't make sense where it's like still offering me English only. I'm answering questions in English, but then it's trying to translate to Spanish. But then even when I say it in Spanish, it doesn't translate back to English. So there's definitely some issues there that need to like be resolved into it, especially for like Duolingo. What's the word I'm trying to say? All that keeps coming to my mind is Duolingo, but that's not what I want to say. Yeah, for the challenges and everything, you know, it's like a lot of it's RNG because you're like really your challenge and going back into it. Bilingual. Thanks, Swept. Yeah, bilingual. Yeah. So like I think there's some issues there. Challenge in depth with it when it's like choosing options and stuff. I think it's hard to really understand what your options and choices have, which make it confusing. I think also with that, because it is so RNG heavy, it kind of gets kind of crazy where it's like I might just die because of bad RNG, which isn't necessarily enjoyable. Like I get it, put some edge on there, but if it's like if you're going to be left to RNG of like death or success, and it's outside my control, that's gonna like make it unfair or frustrating. Because what, now I'm just gonna keep redoing that same chapter until the RNG is better? Like, does that really make sense, you know? So I think like I would limit the RNG in this because, like, right, what's the option? Cool, I got, if I make all the right choices, but RNG is the difference between surviving and dying, I might be stuck in a loop, you know? Or it's just going to encourage me not to finish that pathway, you know? So I think that's really hard. With variety, yeah, you definitely get, like, variety and choices and everything like that, you know? It's not endless. You have, like, variety and depth into it, so I'll give you that. When it comes to choose your adventure, I think one of the hard parts is that you do have that RNG. I think that's really weird. So I think like I never read a like choose your own adventure book where I need to have a D20 readily available. I don't remember RNG ever being a part of the Sierra games really, or being part of Hitchhikers. So like, I think like you're doing something new. You're making like a D&D story, which is like kind of interesting. But yeah. Player role, yeah, like you become a character immediately. I think it's a little interesting though, because I remember some of the choose your adventure things, it wasn't really like you weren't a character. Sometimes you were a character in it, but really like you were a character in it. You are throwing us into like being somebody, and that feels a little uncomfortable because it feels like they have a personality and story and we don't even know what that is, and you're like making us make decisions for them. That's what makes it a little uncomfortable, you know? You need like, I feel like what you want, right? Like the reason like Link doesn't talk is so we can put ourselves into him, you know? So it's like for these characters, the fact that they talk and they have names and they have this, I think what could make it interesting is like you let an option when you like first sign in that you put your name and then all the characters are your name. You know what I mean? Because otherwise it makes it a little weird. I don't know who these people are making choices for them. So I think that like makes it hard. I think they're like a fit, but just not fully convincing. I think it makes it hard for this, you know? And then once again, we're thrown in so quickly. I don't know anything about this person. I'm deciding their fate for them. And like, it seems like a lot of times you kind of like are like, oh, here's the obvious thing. You know what I mean? It's like, or like, I don't know, or you gotta like kind of enter it like a D&D mindset where you're like, oh, I'm gonna be this way, and then you gotta make conscious decisions to be that way, which is different than what kind of how I think these things are, you know? There's no progression, but whether or not it reflects the genre, I guess the progression is the story progression. So I'd say, yeah, like, you know, it's there, you know? And then I guess there's like coins and karma. That's new. I don't understand what that does. I don't know why it's important. Atmosphere and tone for like an audiobook, like sure, like you got some fits, some mismatches. Yeah, this is the hard part, right? When we're talking about like, could you speedrun an audiobook? Sure. Would it be insane? Absolutely. Like, I guess there's like tech where you don't tell it. There's definitely RNG that doesn't seem manageable, you know? Glitches, like probably tech, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of crazy, right? Unfortunately, that's kind of like, I would kind of like not take that. But there's definitely some issues that need should be, I think, for one, you're thrown in too quickly. Recommend setting the scene narrative before each book and a small recap before each chapter optional. That way they can choose it. Language issues and understanding issues for sure. Game is not fully audio based, making it extremely limited. Need to add dice rolls. Because even like it to understand me saying fire, it would say fire and then just ignore me. That was annoying. And then it did that again later. And then need to add dice rolls that can be voice activated. Need to have error control. So it should say something like, I didn't quite catch that. Can you please repeat? And start listening again. Because that was very frustrating. Should allow the option to say first option / option 1, etc. instead of having to like repeat whatever you say, especially when you use the same words, because that's really where you're someone. It's like option 1, you obey. Option 2, don't obey. And then like it's like, what's the key word? Like if I say don't obey and you just pick up obey, like you're probably gonna pick up the first option, which is gonna be a problem, right? App should be functional on lock screen to prevent battery burn during road trips or general travel. Should allow for an accessible non-interactive play. I choose option X each time, and X can be a number, good, defined, etc. So it could be like, choose the nice thing every time, or choose the safer option every time, you know, and then like you can just listen to it. That way it's like, that way you have some accessibility for people who do just want to experience the stories because they might be interesting. Karma and gold aren't really ever explained and don't become useful in chapter 1, so don't understand them. Why was a 16 on a roll a failure? That's insane. If I'm gonna fail, why even make me roll? I guess like I could see it, like, because then you kind of get like the idea where it's like, I guess if we further grow, like, I don't know, it's confusing, right? Like, so let's say 16 on a roll failing sucks. Now, if that's our big bad baddie right at the beginning in chapter 1 that we're meeting, or that's one of them, I see that advantage, right? Because it's like Mega Man X when like you have like Wily and like he pwns our butt, you know, and then like Zero comes in, like saves us, you know, or not, it's not Wily, it's the other robot master guy, right? And like later we get to like beat him and that feels good. So like maybe, but like, yeah, that's kind of like crazy, and I guess it feels better. So that's a little bug on dice. Got back-to-back 4s by yelling at the phone. That was weird. Yeah. Oh, get rid of time-sensitive decisions. It's really unfair. especially when I didn't make the time constraint because your game can't understand me. Like, why? Like, I don't think they're necessary. I really don't. I also think that just stresses people out for no reason. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Weird questions. Seem meaningless. Which one calms you down? Focusing on everything horrible? Or breathe slowly? Like, that's such a weird choice. Like, why is that a choice? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand it. Like, it goes back to, like, every choice needs to be meaningful, and that one just, like, that's worded weird. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know. It seemed weird. I didn't like it because it was worded like there was a right answer, and there shouldn't ever feel like there's a right answer. But I think that's all I got for notes. I think it's a cool concept. I just don't think it's there yet, you know. And I will say, like, I think we're in early. Like, there's supposed to be full. I mean, it's fully out on the App Store if you guys are interested in these. You know, and there is like premium pass. But I think it definitely, like, it needs some work. I think you need to really frame this in the idea that the people who some of your top people are going to use this are going to be people traveling. It's podcast users. And what do people on podcast, right? That's who you're appealing to. Is people who want an interactive podcast. And most people don't just sit down and stare at a podcast. What they're going to be doing is, everybody that I know that podcasts, myself included, does it while driving, while walking, they do it while doing something else. They're not just sitting there listening, like laying on their bed listening to a podcast. And then even if they are, let's say you're doing it for bed, right? Let's say I want to listen to this. I don't want to like stare at my phone waiting for a thing. I think it'd be nice just sit there, have my phone on, and just be like, okay, roll the dice. You know what I mean? Like, be able to interact with this thing fully with my eyes closed, or fully not having to click on it, not as a danger while driving. You know, I think that's like that should be the goal, and that should be the idea that we're looking at. I don't think that the game is there yet. I think that it has the potential to be there, but definitely needs some work. You need to, whatever you guys are using for understanding. I think there's some bilingual problems that need to be looked at. I think that needs to auto change the language, but even when it, like I said, even when it was in English and I was answering in English while listening to in English, it still was understanding me, or it would say that, like, the thing that blew me away was I would say fire, and I'd look down and it tells you what word it thinks you're saying, and it said fire, and then it did nothing. Then I clicked on the microphone, said fire, it said I was saying fire, and then it did nothing. And then I did that 3 times, and 0 times did it register, and fire was one of the options. It was like earth, wind, fire. Do you remember the 16th of September? And it was like, you know what I mean? And like, it still wasn't picking it up. So there's definitely something going on with that interaction that needs to be looked at. All right, Venga boys. So yeah, overall it was pretty fun. Or it's like a really neat concept. It definitely just needs it needs a lot of polish. It needs a lot of work before it gets there. I do appreciate you reaching out. This was enjoyable. I hope you all enjoyed watching this. I hope, you know, go check it out on the App Store. It's free to try any of them out. If you liked them, you know, you can definitely like move forward from there. But yeah, in the meantime, let's find a beautiful Jingle Jam streamer to raid over to. So copy over these raid messages. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment of a game that you think I should play. If you think that this is cool, if I missed anything in my review that you think we should have covered, make sure you add it in there for the game dev to see as well. Appreciate you watching. Stay safe, stay hydrated, wear your seatbelt. Until next time, bye.